How's it going? Murph here. Thank you all for subscribing and helping this channel grow. It's been awesome to see. Recently had a ton of interaction on my beef video when I bought a whole cow. This is the second cow, I should say second half cow that I've bought, and I'm going to respond to some of the common questions. I'm going to respond to some of the funny comments, positive comments, and negative comments. So let's get started. How much does this cost? That is the most common question, as you can tell. It's something that comes up a lot because I think a lot of people are interested in having bulk orders of beef for their families. And I think that looking at this cost in my area in Missouri, it ended up being, for the whole half cow, around $16.50, including processing and shipping and all that stuff. It was a few hours north of me. All in all, about $16.50 all in. It was a pretty good deal for this particular steer. What preparations or recipes are your go-tos? Are you cooking every day? And do you have a way to protect your supply if the power goes out? Cool stuff, my dude. Thank you, Aiden Cohen. That's an awesome comment. Number one, I don't really know. I'm not a great cook, believe it or not. Recipes, I do a lot of jerky. So I'm not cooking every day. I ate deer for about a week after I killed that. I ate it like every day, multiple meals a day. But mostly just jerky and then some deer steaks. And then our family has a couple generators. So if the power goes out, we plug it into the generator, gas generator. Where do you buy a cow and who processed it for you? I haven't found anything cheaper than a $1.50 a pound for processing here in Florida. I'm in Missouri, so in Missouri, my neighbor has a in-law who has a bunch of steers and sells us steers. So that's where I get it from. I have a couple people that I reach out to if I want meat that raise cattle that I know about. This one was just happened to be the one that lined up to when I needed the cow. Who processed it? A processor that the farmer knows. How hard is it to process your own beef, I wonder? I processed a deer, and that was pretty manual. I can't imagine a couple 1,000-pound animal, so I imagine pretty hard. Are you sure you can store that up to 1 year, even with freezer bags? I'm sure freezer burn is going to ruin some of that meat. Maybe. I'm not an expert. I've done this once before, and it was wrapped the same exact way, and the meat lasted a whole year. I actually just finished the meat last month that I bought last year, so I don't know. Maybe. I could probably wrap it better. Probably vacuum seal it. Yeah, so the freezer was $200. I think it's even less than that. You can find a Thompson freezer. I'll put it on the screen here at Sam's Club. I think it's 5 cubic feet or 7.1 cubic feet. It's one of those. And I got that a couple years ago, filled it up with cows ever since and deer ever since, wild game fish ever since. I've always had it full. Towards the end of the year when I don't have as much in there, it starts to dwindle. But for the most part, I got a family of 4, so that's what we're doing. Nathan Rivera says, I wish I knew where I could find a cow. I bet it saves a lot of money this way. It does save a lot of money. There's a few more steps. It's not as simple as going to the grocery store and buying it, right? You have to be in contact with people. You have to find out the timing. Basically, you figure out who's got the cow, when is it getting butchered, when is it getting processed, and then when's it getting shipped. So there's a lot of steps to it, and you really just got to stay on top of it. It's not annoying, but it's definitely not as easy as going to the grocery store. At the same time, there are some of those things you have to think about, like what if the power goes out? What's my backup power? So at the end of the day, when it comes down to the electricity and the time and all that stuff, it might end up being around the same cost as just buying beef, every week. I'm not really sure, but I know the quality is better because I know where it came from. It's a local farmer, and you're supporting a local farmer and local infrastructure in order to keep beef sourced from your local area. So that's the big reason I do it, is the quality. Also, if you're looking for bulk beef, you can find it. If you just search on the internet, you can find bulk beef somewhere. These farmers don't do the best job of putting themselves online, but some do. And you can find it if you just look for it on his Facebook pages, websites and all that stuff. So you have to do some searching. That's all I can say. How long can that beef last frozen? Wait, the meat doesn't spoil in a year. From my experience, it hasn't spoiled. I'm not a picky eater, so there may have been a steak with freezer burn and I just ate it. But in reality, I did this last year, and the meat was eaten before it had a chance to get freezer burn. It lasted me a year, Last time, I still go to the grocery store occasionally. I pick up some steaks if they're on sale. I'm not, like I said, not a super picky eater. This amount, hey, there might be freezer burn. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm learning just like everybody else here. I just happened to buy it and put it in my freezer and record it and put it on the internet. So we're going to get into the funny comments now. Don't let the vegans see this, bro. Not to be rude, but are you a prepper? Thanks, Anakin Skywalker. I am totally a prepper. Not a very good one, but I definitely strive to be prepared. So I guess, my neck of the woods, a prepper is somebody that you strive to be. Maybe if you live somewhere else, a prepper might be known as a derogatory term, but in my neck of the woods, a prepper is someone you want to know. Can you be my dad? That's a good deal, in my opinion. I was expecting it to be a lot more. Nice job providing for your family. Aww. There's some good people out there. I love these comments. Content I didn't know I needed. I'm over here spending a ton of money every year on beef. That's probably not even quality, but for the price of $18.50, I can be set for the year. Thanks for the info, man. Much love. It doesn't get any better than that. If you meet with a cattle farmer or butcher, you can get crazy good deals on all types of meat. It saves you money in the long run, and you only purchase it maybe once or twice a year, depending on how big your freezer or meat locker is. Awesome video, brother. Captain Hulk, I appreciate you. I'm impressed, inspired, and proud. Thanks, Socks and Shoes. I just got my meat last week, bought half a cow as well, and the freezer is good till deer season, baby. Frickin' rock and roll, brother. 500 pounds of health right there. It's a beautiful sight. Way to feed the fam. Crypto Billies. Appreciate that. It is a good way to feed the family. Beef is a superfood. Thank the earth for all that is given. I thank God for all that is given. This is by far the best. We just started with half a cow. Lasted my family about 6 to 8 months. You get so much. The best is the prime cuts. You pay the same price per pound and you get enough to cook yourself a porterhouse a week for fun. It's heaven on earth, man. I would just take my time with different marinades, cook it right on the weekends. Just listen to this man's. You won't regret it. Howdy, partner. I appreciate that comment. And yes, I agree. It is nice to get those different cuts along with the ground beef. Best way to do it. Funny thing, government doesn't want people to do this. No, the government does not want people to do this. That's a different video. That's a topic for a different video. I appreciate that, Nighthawk. Honestly, for being rich, I only want to be able to do this and I'll be happy. I agree. This is America defined. Men will see this and say, hell yeah. You give off divorced dad vibes and I'm all for it. I don't know how I give off those vibes. Is it this flag? Is it my flag? Is that the problem? Damn, what the hell am I doing with my life, LMAO? Wasting so much money on grocery store BS meat. This is true. I mean, the meat in the grocery store, it'll give you protein, It's not as bad as like some vegan powder protein shake or something, but get what you can get. You want to find, like I said, it's not that expensive. If you look at the cost of meat over the course of the year that you're spending, if you think about, okay, I eat a pound a day or maybe half a pound a day, and you just look at the price you're paying on average, multiply that by 365 days, look at the prices that I paid for it, and then maybe come to Missouri and get a steer. I don't know. That's not saving you any money for the meat you got there. You're hard coping if you think you got off good there. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I think he's saying I'm lying, or I think that I'm getting a deal. I think I'm getting a deal. $4.65 a pound all in. I think that's a pretty good deal. I don't know if you've seen price. I'm going to look up price of meat right now, and I'm going to see what the average price of ground beef is. Vegans fuming right now. Vegans are too busy foraging to get mad at me for eating meat. That's a vegan's worst nightmare. I love this guy's picture. Just his whole face. Beef is truly the best meat ever. We used to do this all the time. Ends up saving a lot of money if you can afford it up front. My sister left the deep freeze open one year. My parents were enthused. Yeah, that's a no-no. A year for one person. My mom bought a whole cow out in a month. I love my chest freezer. Then why don't you marry it? 1 year? That would last 4 months with just my wife and I. This guy puts beef away. Holy heck, that's probably less than 6 months for me. Darren Peen. I would imagine, but I'm sure you could tell me. Had you raised the cow yourself, fed it, and butchered it? it would cost so much more than buying from the butcher, correct? Yes, and I also don't have the time for that shit. Hell yeah, brother. Crazy deep freeze, cheaper than a Yeti. Wait, crazy, a deep freezer is cheaper than a Yeti? That is funny. Your liver and colon are busy writing a long and heartfelt letter to you about how this is a very bad idea. You're a monkey. You can eat vegetables all day. Your stomach's different than mine. Shut up. No matter how much money I'd be saving, there's no way in hell I'd spend a year eating frozen food. I cook it before I eat, but sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I will just eat it frozen. It sucks. Flyboy says, Buddy acting like he's the first guy to ever do this. I am. Gabriel, the Jay Cutler shopping list. Jay Cutler, that guy is a weirdo. And bodybuilding's kind of weird. Jay Cutler says something really stupid. He says that he didn't really want to be the strongest. He just wanted to look like he was the strongest. It's a meme. You can't buy that anymore in Germany. We are paying like 30, whatever that is, euro for 1 kilogram of roast beef. Yeah, Germany is lost, my man. I'm sorry to say that, but you gotta get out of the EU. Yeah, buddy, how much was the half? Be getting all that meat, then ordering Whataburger afterwards. Cow suffered, went into the meat, now you're eating suffering. Good luck in life. Well, man, it's a cow. It's meant to be eaten. It's raised to be eaten. Sometimes vegans, I just don't understand their mindset. Suffering? This cow, first of all, let me take a step back. This cow lived a fantastic life. This farmer took great care of this cow. This cow lived in a beautiful pasture. There was no suffering. It was a quick and painless death to the head. And then they hung it for me for 20 days, and then they butchered it,